What's up, Internet? Cory here, collecting with Cory. We're back with a pickup video, one where hopefully the sound works. Let's go. Alright guys, so I have no good angles left in this game room for the time being. Everywhere I point this camera, there's some stuff that's under construction. Even now you can see some stuff that hasn't been put away on the bottom shelf over here. Nothing I can do about it. But because everything's under construction, I actually need to prematurely shoot this pickup video because normally I would wait a little bit longer until I had more stuff, but I think this is a good amount. I need the space that it was occupying. I need to put this away. So let's take a look at what I got. A couple of these are flea market pickups. Actually, the first 4 games are flea market pickups. This was part of a lot that I spent $20 on, well, just some dumb luck being at the right place in the right time at the flea market. We got a couple Game Boy games. Revenge of the Gator. Looks like a pinball game. Nowhere to put it. Quarth, a shooter that I didn't have. Puzzle the Harvest Moon. I feel like I've seen this game before, but it was in like a different language, or maybe I thought it was. Maybe it was the English version. I don't remember it being ESRB though, so who knows. And this one, probably just keeping it for the lulz, or I guess, well, it's worth nothing. But my weight loss coach, I remember when I found this, I ran up to Manny, Gamers Manuel, and I was just like, I'm set. I've figured it out. I've cracked the code. I found it. And I've never opened it, of course. Next up, we have just a little display piece here. This is the Titanium Series die-cast. Very hard to see in the light that I have currently. Boba Fett. His helmet actually comes off. I got this at a thrift store for, I believe, $2 or $3. It doesn't go for much, but I am a really big Boba Fett fan. So happy to have this on my shelf now that I'm going to have some shelf space, hopefully sometime soon, to display toys like that. I think I'll save this game for last. A few games, handful of games here that I got at thrift for not very good thrift store prices. I believe these were, well, this first one was $10. Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII. I always assumed I had it in my collection back there, but I think because it wasn't a Final Fantasy game in the sense of like turn-based action, I didn't keep it. So adding it to the collection, it's actually gone up in value. One that I've rented many times, well, through GameFly back in the day on Xbox 360, Portal 2. One of my favorite games on the system, absolute masterpiece. That was $5, and this one was probably $10, which I overpaid on. PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. It was kind of like a weird situation where the second I got to the case, the lady at the case was just like, "Can I help you with anything?" And I was just like, "Yeah, could I see these games?" I didn't want to look them up in front of her. And the prices were like high, being like $10 for this and the Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core game. But they weren't like too high to the point where it's just like leave them behind. So I enjoyed playing this back in the day. What I actually did when this came out is I bought the PS3 version, and you can see here it's a cross-buy game. And you can't technically buy, at least I don't think you could technically buy a physical copy of the Vita version. But you get this version, you can play it on your Vita. So that's what I did. I've actually never played this on the PS3, but I played it a bunch on the PlayStation Vita. One consolation pickup, I believe. Yeah, just one this week, and that is Drawn to Life. This was $2 at the thrift store. It was half off. Um, Value aside, this looks like a really interesting game. And I remember when they were advertising for it back in the day in video game magazines, it looked like something that would be a lot of fun, but I don't think people enjoyed it too much. I know they got a weird SpongeBob version of this, which I think is kind of interesting. Alright, some Wii titles, because I'm on a Wii kick. This first one has special meaning to me. I got this at my thrift store. Overlord. Dark Legend. Now everybody's probably like, "What? How would this game have any sort of special meaning to you?" And I don't know if I've told the story on my channel before, but my wife, then girlfriend, for some reason, knowing how into video games I was, all she had available to her was a Wii. And I remember I came over one day to like pick her up for some date we were going on, and she was playing Overlord Dark Legend as if she was like super into it. And I think she was just kind of like playing it because I want to show him I can play games, and one of those kind of things. It's just like, why are you trying to impress me? Like, come on, man. That's ridiculous. So I always thought that was kind of funny because I was just like, such a random game. Like, it would make sense, like, have a Mario game, hell, be playing Wii Sports. But Overlord Dark Legend, it's some weird action-adventure game where you're like this evil character that has minions that you command. Like, I don't think you really attack anything directly, but you command your minions to attack. So it's kind of like a real, what is it called? Real-time action, like, simulator, a little bit. I don't know. Also a thrift store find. Thrift store? I don't know. I got this somehow, by some means. I think it was a thrift store. It might have actually been some sort of lot of games I purchased off of, like, Facebook Marketplace or something. Yeah, because one of the things with this is I was going to sell it at first, but it actually has that thing where, like, the inner spindle's a little cracked. I don't know if you could even see it on here. I tested it. Still plays, but I always feel weird about selling games when they're in that condition, especially when they're pricey. For some reason, people are getting $30 to $40, probably a little bit more for this game. And I was going to send it off to Amazon, but I guess I'll keep it. This is one of the Wii games that I just have never played. Like, I don't know. It doesn't look like something that would actually be fun on your own. So realistically, maybe in like 6 or so years when my son's old enough, we'd like to play it. I don't know. Couple of thrift store 3DS finds, which was pretty cool, for $2 each. Or actually, it was less than that. They were marked $2, but she rang them up like $1 each for some reason, as if they were half off, but they had just been put out. I don't know. I wasn't going to correct her. Zelda Triforce Heroes, because $1 is about what you want to pay for this game. And Harvest Moon 3D New Beginning. Very happy to have these. I'm kind of picking up all the Harvest Moon games lately. Got 2 in this pickup. I feel like I've picked them up in the last couple pickup videos also. This third to last game is actually a GameStop pickup. Very rarely do you see them have 3DS games still with the case, especially ones that are basically half the price that they go for on eBay. Warioware Gold. This has been going up in price recently, I'm assuming because of the new Switch game coming out soon. Wanted to pick this up just, before it's ridiculous. $21. No credit currently at GameStop, unfortunately. I've been trading into retro game stores. I think I've mentioned in the last video that had no audio. So I've been trading into retro game stores instead of GameStop lately to get, retro games and stuff that's not at GameStop. This is probably my most recent pickup. This was at my thrift store. This is the thrift store that doesn't keep the discs in the case. You have to go up and ask for them. And one of the things with this thrift store, I go there at opening, and half the time they're just like, oh, we don't have the discs up here yet. And normally I just shrug it off and I'm just like, all right, let me move on with my day. Sucks that I waited in line 20 minutes for you to basically say someone didn't really finish doing their job this morning, but I guess that's on me. I'm the one that gets to lose out. I don't know. I'm salty looking back on it because there's so many like Mario games that I left behind because of stuff like that. Really good stuff for my business and for my collection that I've just left behind because someone was too lazy to get it from the back? Question mark? I don't know. For some reason this morning that I picked it up, I wasn't having it. You very rarely see PS1 games out in the wild. There were two other games. It was like a Crash game and Croc 2 with it. They were like $2 each. I'm not gonna roll over every single time, guys. I understand that like sometimes shit happens. Discs aren't there. But I was just like, you just put these out. Like, the discs are here. Why should I be like, no, don't try and go to any extra effort, aka the effort that you're getting paid for, to sell the game that you're trying to sell. You know, like, you put this out there for sale. You want it to sell. Go get the game. I don't know. Rant over. Regardless, I didn't realize that this had popped up to like a $40, $40 game for $2. To be honest, I don't remember if this is the one I rented back in the day or if it was Deep Cover Gecko, but it was the PS1 version of the game. I don't think they made PS2 Gex games, now that I'm thinking about it. And the last game, this was kind of interesting. Future Self, do me a favor and edit in some pictures of the condition I found this in. Now, technically, this is not the same exact one, but for the sake of the story, and, well, the sake of me keeping this and listing the other one, Dragon Warrior. Got a complete Dragon Warrior at my local game store for $8. And it was a reseal. So at the time I was thinking, like, my mind was racing and it was just like, did I just get like the score of the century? Like, is this like a $400 game that I'm gonna send in and get graded and have on my shelf forever for $8? No, it was a resale. The bottom here, as you can see in the pictures that I'm gonna put up on the screen, the flap was clearly outside of like the rest of the box, so it was definitely opened and, you know, messed with at some point. However, the reason I'm showing this is not because of the great deal I got. It's because my copy of Dragon Warrior was basically just box and game. This completed everything. I now have the manual, the map, the extra whatever thing. This thing is like heavy. This is probably my heaviest complete NES game that doesn't have Carmen Sandiego in the title. So, very happy to have that for $8. Basically all the innards of a Dragon Warrior. Yeah, that's all I have to show you. Normally this video would be going on for at least another 10 minutes, but I've got work to do. So hopefully soon you'll be able to see the fruits of that labor. I intend to have a game room tour probably before the end of the year, but with a newborn, who knows what, you know, Carter decides I can and cannot do. So like the video, subscribe if you're new. Let me know what you found lately in the comments below. And as always, keep it real, internet. I love you guys. I really hope this video has sound.